Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming. You guys see the Lucky Charms in the background, so you know we're going to at least be opening something up. At the very end, I'm going to open up some heavy packs. I'm going to tell you what they are and who they're for. Before then, we're actually going to do a little bit of error hunting, and we're going to do them in these yellow fronted WB cards. These you could get at the movie theater, and I think you could exchange these out for the purple version, which these are much harder to search if they don't have enough room within the seal to slide up and down. So I'm just kind of showing that one for reference to show you, what's kind of happened with the cards. Inside of each one of these, you're going to have a promo, which you can't see. So it's going to be the back side. I'll show you guys how you can check for it. You're going to have this coupon that you can redeem for $2 off your purchase of the Iron Giant video, and it expires on a leap year, February. So you got that February 29th, the year 2000. You got that VHS Iron Giant. You could have got your $2 off from that little coupon card. And then if you read this, which is what you can see on the front. So collect all 4 cards in this unique Pokemon trading card series. Here's how. Present this card at any Warner Brothers Studios store or go to WBstore.com. You'll receive another random Pokemon card from the series with any purchase of $10 or more. So they would send out, I guess, maybe another one of these with a purchase of $10 or more. Or come back and relive the excitement of Pokemon, the first movie at this theater. You'll receive another random card from the series with your movie ticket purchase. So you could just come back and get another one of these. And, it's pretty cool watching how this stuff, evolves over time. I believe this one is the earlier version, mainly because it has squared off corners. On the back side, it's just blank. And then you have this one over here, which is, it's got the advertisement on this side, and then you've got the rounded off Catch Mew. It almost makes sense that this one would be the earlier one based off of the text, because you would have this, and then you could, present this at the Warner Brothers studio, or go to the WB store, and then in exchange you would get this one, which would not have that same advertisement on it. But I don't really know. There may be information out there on it. I just haven't looked at that deep into it. It doesn't really matter unless you're trying to think, maybe those inverted errors that everyone's searching for would have been with the earlier stuff, but we don't know if it was earlier or later anyway, so really it doesn't matter. On these purple ones, where you've just got the Catch Me with the square corners and the white back, you can't really tell, if it has that WB stamp. I mean, you can. It takes a lot of time. What I do is, I ended up having to bend the card in a little bit like that, and I shine a strong light down there, and just to be able to see whether or not it has the WB stamp. The WB stamp I'm talking about is right there. Kids WB presents Pokemon the first movie, and the reason it matters is because if this stamp is inverted, like down here, like that Pikachu I paid $3 grand for. Let's see if I can get it again. Let me show it to you guys. Like this one. I mean, they're super expensive. As far as I know, there are none out there sealed. And it would be really tough to even find them in one of these sealed because it's so hard to see, and you almost damage the card if some of them are really tight. Now, with these yellow ones, you can actually tell whether or not the WB stamp is there. And we're not only looking for inverted stamps, which is like this. Basically, it was just printed upside down. It was stamped upside down. There are also ones without stamps at all. I've got the Mewtwo, I showed it in that BGS return, and there are also some with a ghost stamp, like that Dragonite. All of those would be super expensive. I'm talking about well over $1,000 no matter what card it is. And if we found it sealed, I mean, who knows how much that would go for, especially like a Pikachu. Now, the easiest way to check is I try to just position myself between that Iron Giant coupon and the blue card, and I push it upwards. I push it upwards, that way I can actually see the stamp. Because if we push it down and we see a stamp, it's inverted, and that would be awesome. But on almost all of them, you're just not going to see anything. But if it's a ghost stamp where there's no stamp there, then pushing it, so that you see the bottom half or the bottom section isn't going to do you any good. So if we actually look at the stamp, then we can see if it's actually a ghost stamp, a no stamp, or an inverted stamp. So this very first one we have, it is just a regular stamp, and I encourage you to check it, make sure that it's because there are all kinds of little errors you can get with these things. I've had some with double promos, I've had some with flipped around promos, I've had some that are crimped, some that are like there's faded WB golding there, and some that's like really, really thick. It almost looks like WAB. You can kind of see where the way that would work out if you're looking at it. See where it says it's WB, it's so like thickened together, it's like a W, and then it's got like this little crossing, it says WAB, WAB. So we're going to check these 12, and then we'll get into the booster pack opening. You know, it'd be super cool if we actually found one, but you know, I've been through thousands upon thousands of these WB promos, and I've never once found an inverted, no stamp, or ghost printed error. I've never seen one sealed. The only ones that I've come across have been in someone else's collections, you know, or where someone directed me to, you know, an eBay listing or something like that. And the reason probably is, I mean, these cards, I bet you they were printed into the millions, hundreds of thousands, I would think at least. I mean, if I've been able to handle 5,000 plus of each one of these promos, you gotta know that, you know, this movie was in so many theaters across the United States of America, and each one of them probably got at least an 1,800 count box, because that's what they come in. They come in this big cardboard box, and there was 1,800 promos in each one of those boxes. I know the intake come in 600 count boxes. I'm trying to think. The birds, I think those were 1,200 count. Ancient Mew, I think Ancient Mew was 1,200. But with this WB one, I mean, they had 1,800 of them. So doesn't look like we're getting lucky on any of these promos. I haven't seen any ribbed or, you know, anything else that would stick out, you know, for some kind of cool error. You know, if it was ribbed, which is basically where this heat seal right here that you see with those ridges catches the card, you know, it actually damages the card. However, some people like that, especially if it's sealed, because you know it's probably more authentic that way. You know, they might pay an extra 10, 20 bucks. You know, if it's a Pikachu, I mean, you never really know with that card. People do stupid money for Pikachus and random errors and misprints or whatever. All right, last one. Here we go. Here's our last shot in this video. I'm not going to go through all these. I mean, it can get really boring having to, you know, watch me scoot these cards up. Yep, there's nothing there. So, all right. So now we're going to move on to the booster pack opening. We've got 3 heavy Fossil first edition packs straight from a cracked box. These are for James. You guys remember James? He bought all those Gym Challenge packs. Man, what did I thought I had sleeves right here. Let me grab some sleeves. Y'all might have heard that gunfire in the background. Man, we got guns going off around us all day. Our neighbors, they're always shooting their pigs or something to eat. You know, it was weird. My wife went up to New York and she said, man, you can't even like mention guns out there. People are just like looking at you strange. But you know, around here, I mean, that's just, I mean, everyone has a gun. I mean, we were at my father-in-law's yesterday, and we were cleaning up his place. We already took all of his expensive guns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we set those. You know, we got them in his bag, and we have them here at his house, or here at our house. But he also has some other guns at his house. You know, we were just cleaning up. You know, there's a shotgun behind one door, shotgun behind another door, a couple machetes. You know, it's just people love shooting around here. I mean, it's a sport. It's also, I mean, people do it for hunting. Hunting season is huge. I don't hunt myself, and it's not because I just really don't have time for it. I mean, I've never actually cleaned an animal myself. I wouldn't want to shoot anything that I wasn't actually going to eat. I think that would just be kind of pointless. I'm not really into all that. But, you know, it was strange when my wife went up to New York, and, you know, how everyone was like, you don't even want to talk about guns. It was like, she felt like she was going to get thrown off the bus for it. But then down here, it's just, you know, people carry their guns into church all the time. We've probably got 10 police officers that are armed at any given time. My wife always has hers in her pocketbook. But we'll get off the gun subject, because there are a lot of bad things that can come from guns when they're used incorrectly. But for the very first rare, we have, a Ditto. Man, look at that first edition stamp. Man, it's been a while since I've opened up a fossil heavy first ed pack. Man, it looks pretty good. Got some silvering. I do see a hint of a line on the bottom side. You can see where it comes out over there, but it's really light. Backside looks pretty good. Centering is off a little bit, but it looks great. Alright, so there we start off with a good Pokemon. Ditto was, to me, he was always pretty nice. It was one of the cards that was a little bit tougher to grade, but it's not impossible. Like, well, with Fossil, I mean, it's not none are really that tough. I mean, Articuno and Dragonite are rough just because they're so popular. But it's not like the Kangaskhan or a Vaporeon from Jungle. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. If any of y'all have seen me on Facebook, I'm just under my name, Rusty Oakley. I think one of the first things my family and I did, or one of the first things I did with Anna's family, was we all went and got our concealed carry together, and then we held up our little, shot things, because, before you handle a gun, of course, you want to have gun safety. You want to know exactly what you're doing, not just be have something sitting out random that your kid can get a hold of. It was kind of an awakening, because I'd never really shot a gun in my family before, because we always lived right outside of a motel in the city, so you can't shoot in the city. Not unless you, of course, you're a cop or something. But her family lived pretty close to a school, but they were technically outside of the city, and man, that's all they used to do when they hung out together. Here we go. We got a second card. This is the second rare. Oh, it's Articuno. Wow, look at that one. Man. It's got a little print line right there. Dragonite, to me, has the most appeal of any card from Fossil. But Articuno was always my favorite. I used to love running it in a deck because of its 30 and 50 damage. You got 30 for the freeze dry and 50 on the blizzard. Man. It looks really nice. I'd say that print line is probably going to get picked up by a PSA grader. So I would put it at a 9. Dang. Now that's a pull right there. We still have one pack to go. So if I could pick any three or any pull, for me it would be between Dragonite, Gengar, or the Moltres. Those would be one of my 3 favorites. Trying to think if there's any errors in the first edition Fossil set. Like, I mean, the Zapdos, but that's a complete print issue. So, I mean, if we pulled a Zapdos, it would have the Evolution Box error. And if there is, I'm just blanking on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This Fossil box, when I cracked it, only had 11 heavy packs. And there was 25 light packs. If there was 12 heavy packs, I just missed it. And I sent it out as one of the lights. But the packs themselves were in such great condition. I think I ended up taking 3 of each artwork from the light packs. I'm just going to have them sent to PSA and encased. There's good old Psyduck, Mysterious Fossil, Geodude, Weezing, Seadra, and then Slowbro. Alright, for our last rare or hollow, we have, boom, Hypno. Hypno is not that tough to grade in PSA 10 from what I've found. And this one looks really nice. It's got the purple hue. If you are familiar with, like, when Pokemon from base and Fossil and Jungle have like this darker hue in the hollow background, sometimes it can be on. Sometimes you get a blue, sometimes you get a purple. This one is definitely more purple. I know some collectors collect both variants. Backside looks pretty good. I think there's a little white dot right there. Tiny one over there. This one I would think would have a better shot at the 10 than the Articuno. but all of them will come out in really great condition. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any info, or if you have any questions about the inverted Pokemon stuff and you want to know about that, feel free to reach out. I can always give you more information on something like that, because I'm looking for them. I still need the Mewtwo and the Electabuzz. I think I had all 4 several times, but I sold them and resold them, and now I'm just on the back end trying to recollect them again. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you didn't get too offended by the gun talk. I mean, to me it was a culture shock, I guess, when I went up to New York, so I just had to bring it up when that gunshot went off in the background. I think it was our neighbors. I believe they just shot another pig. But it's crazy. They actually, I watch them, they'll bring their kids outside and they'll take the neck, and their kids, I mean, they're young and they know how to, wring the neck off of the chicken, kill it, and then go inside. They pluck the feathers and eat the meat. I've never gotten in that depth with eating food before, but I think it's great that, they actually know how to do that kind of stuff. Somebody has to do it, and the fact that they're doing it naturally, they're raising the chickens themselves and then eating, not letting anything go to waste. I mean, that's great. I wish that I had that kind of knowledge. If the apocalypse comes, I'll definitely be getting in touch with my neighbors. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and sorry for the rant.